But today I decided to kind of write a little poem, a little story, about what it is existing as, someone who navigates different identities, especially here in a place like Utah. Some of the things I might talk about might make some of you uncomfortable. I don't know all of you, but I urge you to lean into that discomfort. And thank you for listening to my story. They say, how do you survive a place in Utah? I say I don't. I resist, I organize, and I rise. Because where we're from, resilience isn't a hashtag or a buzzword, it's a birthright. My ancestors didn't cross oceans on cargo ships or cruise lines. They were the ocean. They moved with it, breathed with it, navigated by stars. And me, I'm the dream that they whispered into the tide, born far from the islands, but the blood still flows in the waves and is embedded in the land. My family hails from Nataiwai, Sabai. My father is very far Samoa, but I was not raised in the Fale. But I learned to build one, not alone, but with the hands of queer Pacific Islanders who taught me how to survive when survival was never the plan. I carry my family's language in my bones, their laughter in my lungs, their battles in my blood. They say to me, but you grew up outside the culture. And I say, culture never left me. It just waited for the right time, the right time to rise from my chest, like the ancestors knocking on my ribcage. It was not and has not been an easy path of reclaiming. What I would have given to be raised in a traditional Samoan household, what I would have given to grow up understanding protocols and language, to know what my grandmother was teaching me, what I would have given not to be questioned and looked down for being afkasi, a word that I don't even claim, a word given to us by colonizers. I had to go looking through YouTube videos, archives, books, through Auntie's stories on Facebook, and long distance calls, through being in community, and being comfortable, being uncomfortable in cultural spaces. Through Talanoa queer circles, where I finally saw that my femininity was not a mistake. My queerness has always been and will always be the leading force in coming into my identity. All my life, I knew that femininity felt like home, a kind of femininity that doesn't exist in Western gay spaces. I owe my life to queer and trans Pacific Islanders, the ones who brought me into their fale, gave me the space to explore, to make mistakes, to be loved and to be seen, but never facing judgment or isolation. I'm the director of Nua Nua Collective, Nua Nua meaning rainbow in Samoan. We serve our MVP FAF community, our Mahu, Fafafime, Fakaleti, Palopa, Sakatopui, our gender diverse identities across the Pacific. Through Nua Nua Collective, it's taught me that being and feeling like a Fafafine is and was never a phase. It was prophecy, it was healing, it was mine. The Western world tried to name me outside of my ancestors, tried to pin me down with Western grammar, but my gender and identity is a tide. It's a tide that the colonizers never learned how to navigate. I was able to visit the motherland last year for a month, touched the land, reconnected with my family, and reaffirmed to me I am Samoan. I always have been. I have the village, I have the blood to prove it. Not that I ever felt that I needed to, but Samoa was a far off distance place. It felt like a vision or memory. It felt fictional, but touching the land was transformational. In Samoa, some of my chosen family just happened to be there at the same time. Lily, Tile, and Kehao, where we received our tualimas together. And to be able to feel the strike of ink and blade on my hand, surrounded by them, is an experience that happened because of the stars. I wasn't supposed to make it here, not in this conservative state, not in this body, not with this name, but I did, and I did it with a village. Because I've never walked alone. There's always been a hand on my back, community whispering and cheering, we keep going. Because if the system wasn't built for us, then we build something else. That's what Nua Nua Collective is, a love letter written in action, in protest, in pride. We are a movement, a cultural awakening and reckoning, a constellation of queer and trans Pacific Islanders who refuse to disappear and be pushed to the sidelines. They banned pride flags in Utah, the first state in the country, stripped our healthcare, tried to legislate us out of existence, and we're still here, still dancing, still disrupting, still serving, and still declaring that the margin is a place of power, and that we will reclaim it. I sit on boards that shape policy, at tables that were never meant for people like me, and I bring a folding chair every single time. And if no room at the table, we'll break your table because we have our fala. I've taken our stories to many foreign spaces, but I never forget who I do it for. my people, our people, Mahus, Leitis, Fafas, queer and trans Pacifica, for queer kids, youth looking for their names in the stars. This world is nasty. The impacts of fascism, transphobia, white supremacy that even lives within our own communities. It's so hard to not lose hope these days, especially as queer and trans people who are day after day attacked online, by our family, by the Cheeto in the White House, religion, but our hope is what drives us and is what's driving our community to thrive. We are rooted in hope because we acknowledge that our genders predate Christianity, predates this country, and predates colonialism. They say, well, then what brings you hope? I say joy, untamed, queer, ancestral joy. It's the way we pass the mic, pass the plate, pack city council rooms like their family dinners. It's the Siva after the rally. It's the anti-hugs at the food drive. It's drag queens at the cover bar, the chosen family that feels like freedom. They say, how do you not lose hope? I say, hope isn't something that I wait for. It's something that I create, something that we create, because hopelessness is the enemy of justice. Hope isn't soft. Hope is the drumbeat. Hope is strength. Hope is the Ofa in a lofa. Hope is every queer, trans, Pacific Islander who dares to take up space in a world that begs us to shrink. Let us keep reaching for the hope that lives loud in our communities. It's here, it's everywhere, it's in every neighborhood, it's in every corner. Let us channel that hope that we feel, that we see, to anchor us back to this work, to community, to remind us why we show up for one another, why we speak up, why we keep pushing, even when the road feels steep and the winds feel slow. Because hope is not soft, hope is strength. And the land here in Salt Lake, we are reshaping it brick by brick, reclaiming what has always been ours. This is not about me, this is about the generations that I carry, that we carry, the ones yet to come, and the ones whose names were never written down, but they live in our laughter. Hope will for always and forever be queer. Hope is trans. I am not the first, I will not be the last, but I'm here to say that we are not done, our queer and trans community will not be quiet, and that we are not going anywhere.